Hello and welcome to my ICT Hub. This is John, your ICT tutor, making ICT concepts easier. Right, today I will be working on the database aspect of the May June 2023 paper 2-1, that is the IGCSE ICT examination 0417 code, which is made up of three aspects: that is the document production, the database, and the presentation. Now I'm going to be working on database in this video. I've made videos about the other aspects which you can catch up on later. If you're ready, let's get in. Okay, here is the paper. That is the May June 2023, I beg your pardon. Paper 2-1 of the Information and Communication Technology. We are working on database and that's on page 6. So let's get there. Alright, here we are on the database aspect of the question. It says you are now going to prepare some reports. Now the final aspect of most database and what you are going to be tested in the IGCSE examination is your ability to make use of the objects of the database, and which the final printout is usually the report. That is the hard copy of the objects of your database that you can actually give out as a printout. So we are going to be making some reports, which is the final stage of the database. Let's dive in. It says examine this file J2321 results.csv as a comma separated value file, and identify the most appropriate field to set as a primary key. Close this file. Take notes. Close this file. All right, let's get down to that file. Results. Here we have results. Let's open results. J231 results. You're going to open it with a spreadsheet application to be able to identify the primary file. Sorry, the primary key. The primary key is the field that is unique, that does not have any duplicates. That every record there, every file, every record, yes, every data in the field is unique. There's no duplicate, there's no replication in the field. So how to identify that from this? Let's first select everything. Select all, then you go to your home menu. You come to your conditional formatting. Take note, this is a spreadsheet application I'm using to do this. In your conditional formatting, you go to your objects, highlight cells, rules, and we want to come down to duplicate values. When you click on that, it's going to highlight where you have duplicate values. So from this, you can see this is duplicate. This we have duplicates here, we have here, we have here, we have here, we have here. So we have like 3 from what I'm seeing now, here, here, and these 3 fields. But let's scroll down to be sure. Okay, now this is out of I have this 2 left, and this is out of it. So this is the field left, which obviously if you scroll down, you can see we don't have anyone there. All right, let's go back. So it's the race number. So the race number field is what we are going to use as our primary key. It doesn't have any duplicates. Remember, after the question, the very important point there says close this file. All right, so let's go back and ensure the file is closed. Don't save anything, just close the file. All right, the file is closed. Let's continue. Using database software, import the file J231 results.csv. I'm going to be using Access 2021, Microsoft Office Access 2021. I want to create a new blank database. Let me just call that May June paper 2-1 2023. All right, let's move on. Now, to import a file into a database application, you can either use your external data, come to new, from file, and you pick on text file because it's a CSV file, comma separated values. That's a text file. So you click on this, or you come to the table, right click, go to your imports, text file, both of it will do the same thing. All right, here you are on the dialog box to import a file. We want to browse. Let's locate where that file is. Here it's results.csv. We open it up and click on next. All right, you use the delimiter, keep that because it's a CSV file. Ensure you don't miss out on this particular aspect. Always remember to select the first row columns are the field names. So you can see this, they are all displayed as the field names. Then click on next. Here you specify your data types. Let's go back to the question to see our data types that we are specifying. Here we have text. We use this aspect for the data types. This display can be done when you get into the table in the design view. but this is what you use for the importing. You must ensure that you get these data types right when importing the table. Make sure it is exactly as it is specified here. So we have 3 texts in the first 3, number and another 2. So we have short text, short text, short text. Next is number. This is long integer. Use whatever number that is specified by the access program. Since it specifies long integer, stay with that. If it is double, stay with it. Then we have short text and we have short text. Now let's check the next one. We have number again, date and time, text. I'm going here with this is long integer, good. Date and time, yes. I think we're in order. And the next one is short text, good. Then lastly, we have number and number. So here again, integer and integer. Beautiful. So it's in order. Let's click on next. The primary key, remember we found the primary key to be raised number. So I'm going to select this field. If it was to use, the question says allow access to use a primary key, that is to set ID as primary key, you can use this auto number. Or if you don't want to use a primary key, you can go with no primary key. Or best, because we have specified raised number as a primary key, we identified that when we took a look at the file in the spreadsheet application program as in Excel. So I select this and move on to finish. Okay, here we have the table. Let's check it out. Now let's go back to the question quickly. Take a look at the display. It says 0 decimal place, 0 decimal place. This should display in this format. Let's see the date and time. Okay, it's displayed in that format, yes, but now we should have 2 digits. Yes, so let's go back and check in our design view. That's for the date and time. Okay, I got my view adjusted. Now let's check for the date and time, where we have date and time, and we want to change the format to, okay, here we have long time. Is that it? It's not giving us the way we want it. Let's check it. Yes, want to save that. Okay, exactly, that's what we want. All right, it is displayed in that pattern. Let's go back to the question. The question says, set the identifier field as primary key, which we did. Save the data. Place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the field names, 1, 2, data types, and 3, the primary key used in the table. So we want to go to your design view. Here you can see the primary key is specified, the data types are all specified, and the field names are fully displayed. So let's take a screenshot. We use our Windows, a shift key, and letter S. And that calls up the screenshots, and I can highlight this. Yes, that's about all I need. Let's go to evidence document, the next evidence document there. Let me bring this down. Okay, good. Now you can see we have the data types, we have the field names, and we have the primary key fully displayed. Return back. Let's continue. The next question now says, import the file J2321 staff times.csv as a new table in your database. All right, here we have our data types. We have a primary key, group code is a primary key. So let's import that table from file, text file, start times. Here we have start times, and we want to open. Okay, click on next, ensure you select the field title. Let's take a look at the data types. Text, 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 and the last one is date and time. Text, 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 text. Yeah, date and time, we're good. Then remember, group code should be a primary key. And let's finish up with that. Let's check it out. Double click. Okay, let's see it in the design view. Yes, we have a short text, date and time. I think that is okay. Now let's go to our long time. So we want to change that format to long time. Okay, we have this. Save it. And let's change back to datasheet view. All right, still the same. Okay, let's move on. All right, just a quick one. I had to change my long time because I noticed the last time it was showing with the AM. So if you have that situation where your long time is also showing with the AM and PM, I think it's good I should show you what I did. You turn on and go to your region settings on your PC, and you want to change your settings to not to have this TT. Let me zoom in for those who can see. You want to change your long time settings because this TT is the one that displays the AM and the PM, like you can see it here. So you want to select the other option without it, just this way, apply it and click OK. So that way it will get rid. Then when you are done with that, you close your Access application, save everything you've done and open it back again, and it will get rid of that long time, the AM and the PM that was displaying before now. All right, let's continue quickly. Now once we have that, we've said it's a group code. Place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the field names, data types, and a primary key. All right, to do that, I want to go to my display. All right, let's do a screenshot, Windows Shift S. And then I do a screenshot of that. Okay, showing the field names, the data types, and my primary key. So you want to drop this here. Yes, and let's move on. I haven't done that. Let's go to the question. Now import the file j2321 catcodes.csv as a new table in your database. Set all the data types to text. Set cat code as primary key. All right, can we go import that? Oh, sorry. Let's go. Let's import that cat code text file. Should be a cat code. That should be on desktop. Yes, I have cat code here. Okay, let's import that. Click on next. Ensure all files are set to text. Yes, they are all text. Then cat code should be a primary key. And then we finish with that. Let's take a look at it. Cat codes. Here they are. Place in evidence document screenshots showing the field names, data types, and the primary key used in the table. So we want to go back to your design view and let's go Windows Shift and S for the screenshots. Okay, and check that. Let's paste that in an evidence document. Okay, I'm also shuffling using the key combination Alt and Tab. It's what helps me to get this interface. When you hold down your Alt key and you tap on the Tab key on your keyboard, you can easily shuffle across active windows or windows that have been opened on your screen. It's going to makes work much easier instead of clicking over and over again. Okay, all right, let's move on. Now we have the next one. It says create a one-to-many relationship as links between. One, we have the group code field in the start times table and the start code field in the results table. It's very important that you follow this arrangement when creating your relationship. The first is going to be moving from the group code in the start times table to the start code in the results table. So let's see how to do that. So we're going to be we need the results table and, go to your database tools, relationship, the results table and the start times table. So we have, this is the results table. I also have my start times table set. Now it says going from the start times as a group code to, let's confirm that please. We have the group code in start times to start code in results. So where is my start code in results? Here I have my start code at the top here, my group code. So you're going to click and pick from there and drop it on the other field. So going from group code to start code in this is the start times and result table, one-to-many relationship, and I create that. Okay, now the next one says from cat code this time field in the code, in the cat code table, beg your pardon, and the cat code field in the result table. So we are going this time from cat code table to result table. Okay, let's go back. You have to insert this table. I double clicked on that, or you click and add it here. So from cat code to result table, cat code on the results, this is the cat code, and where we have cat code on the result table, result table, we have our cat code here. Where are you? Here it is. So I'm going to pick it from here, and I'm going to drop it there. All right, cat code going from cat to result one-to-many relationship. I think I prefer this to be at the middle. Okay, yes, that's better. Surely you would need an evidence document. Now place in your evidence documents spreadsheets showing the one-to-many relationship between these three tables. Okay, now if I do a screenshot of this, yes, it would show the relationship between the fields and the tables, but it will not show the type of relationship. Take note, it says place in your evidence document screenshots showing the one-to-many. Emphasis on this. We want to see that it's a one-to-many relationship between these tables. So to do that, I'll have to first click on this, double click on it. I could take a first screenshot, the Windows, the Shift key, and the S. Take the first screenshot of that. I'm going to click on OK. Let's go paste that here. I want to bring this down. And then come to the order relationship. Let's again take another screenshot, Windows, Shift, and S. I'm going to take another screenshot of that. Yes, that's my evidence. Still within the same evidence document. All right, so those are two evidences. Done. Now we go to the next question. Says, add the following as a new record in the results table. Once again, I'm on the system, so it's easy for me to copy and paste. But for you in the examination condition, you will actually be typing. So I would like to re-emphasize. Please take notes. This is the results table. I want to open the results table. Please ensure that you type accurately. Be very sure that what you are typing is accurate, please. So let's begin. I'm creating a new record. I'm going to come down here and click on this. It says new record. Now it's going to create a space for me there. Let's copy. And I paste that. The next information. Copy. Paste that. Alt tab. Copy this. Then I paste that. Alright. Copy this. And I can paste that in with my tab key. Copy this again. Oh no. Come on. Right there. Copy this. And I want to paste this. Then I copy C5. And paste this. Please make sure you double check your entry that you don't have any errors when you are copying yours. And that's not complete. I want everything. Yes. No. Sorry. Not even with this. Okay. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to paste that there. Here I'm having this. Copy. I'll paste that there. Alright, I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste it there. And lastly, 68. Copy and paste it there. Alright, save it to ensure that it's updated. Okay, now let's move on. Like I said, check your data entry for errors. So meaning be very sure that you check and be very sure that they are all accurate when typing. Please do not make errors when entering this data. Okay, now I'm going to save that, which I have done. And let's move to the next one. Next question says, using fields from the results and the start times table, just two, result and start times tables, produce a tabular report. Now, when you want to produce a report, I advise you start first with your query. Remember, we have four objects in the database application. We have the tables, we have the forms, we have the queries, and we have the reports. Now, the form could have been used here for this. You could have created a form with this table and use it to populate this instead of typing it directly into the table. But whichever way, either you use the table directly or use a form to populate the table, both of it works just fine. And now once that is done, to get this now, for this required field, first you want to take out these fields in a query, then run this particular condition. So let's read through. What is it going to do? It said we're going to select the records where group code is HC00, YOB is 1975 or later. Shows only the field group code, last name, first name, YOB status, race time, and event rank, in this order with data and labels displayed in full. Do not group the data. The next thing says sort data into descending order of YOB, has a page orientation of portrait, fits on a single page, includes only the title, scratch category, outcomes displayed in a large font size, fully visible at the top of the page, calculates the number of database records shown in the report and places this at the end of the report, fully visible and formatted to 0 decimal place. And has a label number of cyclists, fully visible to the left of this value. And lastly, has your name, center number, and candidate number on the report. Place in your evidence document screenshots showing the database formula used to calculate the number of cyclists. All right, let's get down to the question. To start with, let's go with our query first. So I'm going to create a query using my query design. Or you can use a query wizard if you want, but just make sure you get the required fields. So I'm going to be using from results table. It says results table and what? And the start times table. So I need my start times table. I don't need my property sheet for now. And once that is in, you can close this. Let's double click this so it's fully visible. All right. Now the next thing, we want to pick the required fields, the fields that we are going to be displaying. We have group code, last name, first name. Permit me to go a little bit closer for those of you who are using possibly a small device. This is too much. All right, for those who ask me, how do I zoom in? I use the Windows key and the plus key. It zooms in the Windows and the plus, and when you want to zoom out, use your Windows and your minus, and it's going to zoom out this way. You can see that. So the Windows and the plus key is used to zoom in and to zoom out the other way. Please permit me, I'm going to be switching the windows in this view. We have group code, last name, and first name. So let's look at our group code. Do we have it here? Yes. Double click on that and you will see it drop here. Group code, we have the first name and then the last name. Then let's switch over again. Here we have, it was last name before first name. YOB status and race time. So if you have such situation, you can easily come here, pick it and drag it the other way. Back here, YOB status, can you confirm that? YOB status race time. I'm here on YOB. Can I get my status? All right, where are you? Okay, I believe you should be able to do that faster. Status, then I have my race time. Should be here. This race number, race time is here. And the last thing I think is something on events. Event rank, yes. And I have that. Now all of that placed in. I want to zoom out. That's my Windows and my minus, the Windows and the dash key, and I zoom out. Okay, here we have all of it here. Let's run it. Okay, yes, they are all fully visible. Great. Now before we leave, we also want to try and set the equations for these conditions. First one says the group code is HC00. Now this is a definite. We are giving it directly to equals to. I could do the filter here in the datasheet view, but I want to write the code so you can see how to write the code also. If you come here, now we want to locate the group code. Allow me to zoom in again so you can see. Now we have the group code. Here we have the criteria. I'm just going to drop it there directly. You could just type it in HC00 because the question says, is this? So that means we want the exact thing that is this. Now it says 1975 or later. Now a later date after 1975 is going to be 1976, 1977, which is greater than this. So for this, because it's a numeric value, I'm going to be writing a numeric expression for the YOB. So it's going to be greater than, or is that equals to, greater than 1975. Now let's confirm. It says YOB is 1975 or later. So that means it's inclusive. So I'm going to use my greater than or equals to, because it is included in it. It says 1975 or later. So we have the two criteria. We have the HC00 in quotes, and we have greater than or equals to 1975. Now those are the criteria for this query. Now let's zoom out with the Windows and the dash key, and then let's run this. Okay, how many? We have 32 records returned. Let's save this query as query 1. I'm going to leave that as query 1. I haven't done that. The next thing says we should sort the data into descending order of YOB. I like to do my sorts from the sort down in the report interface. Not that you can sort here you can sort in the query, but I kind of prefer it in the report interface because I'll be sure I have it done. So let's go to the report interface. If you want to sort here, you could have just easily come to the field and you carry out your sort ascending or descending order. But when we are creating the next report, you'll see why I prefer it to be in the report view. So let's create a report. We are using the report wizard. I'm going to be picking data from the fields, all the data in that order. Now it says it should not be grouped. If you take a look at the question, it says display the display do not group the data. Sorry. All right, here it is already grouped by group code. You want to pick this that is not grouped. Now this way none of it is grouped, so you want to select the one that doesn't have any grouping this way. Click on next. Still you don't want any grouping here. I don't advise that you do your sort here either, because if you do your sort here, it's going to rearrange the order of these tables that are, or these fields, as the way they are arranged. So we click on next. Now let's check what the orientation of our paper is going to be. It says it should be orientation of portrait, which is already in portrait. We click on next and let's finish that. Now it drops us in the print preview. If you take a look at it, they are not all fully displayed, so we still have work to do. Let's close and go back. Now this comes to the design view. I like to see what I'm doing, so I go to the layout view so I can see whatever editing I'm carrying out from here. The next thing now says sort the data into descending order of YOB. Now this is where I do my descending order. Come to the report layout design. You have your group and sort. So here you can specify, add a sort. It says descending order of YOB. I select YOB. Now there are always two options here. The first one is the ascending. The second is the descending. Even if you don't understand what is written in that order, whether smallest at the top, this below, you get confused. Just to keep yourself safe, the first is always ascending and the second is always descending. So that way you can be sure. If you pick the first one is ascending, the lower one is descending, which we are to do. Okay, now we have grouped it by YOB. Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, YOB, yes, is it descending? 2 and 5, 4. Yes, you can see, so it's descending order of YOB. All right, let's continue. The next one says it fits on a single page. Now, not wide, just a single page. So let's check our print preview to be very sure if it's on a single page. Print preview. Oh yes, so it's on a single page. We are good to go. Let's continue back to our layout view. The next one says includes only the title. This for you, you're going to be typing this in. Ensure you do not make any error. Displayed in large font size, fully visible at the top of the page. Now you come to the title, select this, and you want to paste that, fully visible at the top of the page. Calculate the number of database records. Now, how many records do we have? Like I say this again, like another way to say it is to tell me how many number of database records we have. Like to count it. I want to count how many database records we have in the report, and it should show where should this be placed. This at the end of the report, fully visible. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to pick any of this because I know a label is going to place beside it. I could just pick this, right click on this and go to your total YOB, and you count the records, not the values, the records. Click on count records, and all right, you want to, please don't close this sort here. If you do this, it's going to undo what you have done. Rather, you want to come and click back on this tool, group and sort, to hide that. Now let's scroll down to see if it has counted. Yes, it has counted it. Its count obviously is going to be an integer. Let's go on. Now calculate here. We've calculated that. Fully visible, formatted with 0 decimal place. It's an integer, so it doesn't have a decimal place. Now has the label number of cyclists. It's a label. fully visible to the left of the value. Now you can place a label here in the layout view. We do that in the design view. Sorry, still the layout view. Let's change to the design view. Okay, now this is, you can see in the report footer we have the count here. I want to place a label. You go to the report design. Here I have my label. This is a text box. Please take notes, don't use a text box. Make sure you are using the label. Alright, I want to draw that to the left. It says to the left, so I'm going to put it somewhere here. And I can paste that in. Alright, for you, you're going to remember, you're going to type it. So once that is pasted in, okay, to the left of that. Perfect. Let's take a look at it in the layout view. Okay, this is my print preview. Okay, yes, it's to the left. I want to return back to my layout view. Now, is that all? Now, has your name, center number, and candidate number on the report. Now, it's not specific where it should be. I always advise it should be at the footer of the report, and so that it will be visible on all the pages. So you go back. Let's go to our design view once again to insert. This is, you can see we have the page footer, we have the report footer. The report footer is where calculations are dropped. Please don't place your name at this point. You want to place your details in the page footer. So let's delete what we have there. Just click on them and delete them. Pick a label, any side you prefer. I like it to the left. You might want to put it at the center or to the right, whichever side. Let's put your name, comma, sorry. Have a comma there, your center number, and another comma, candidate number. Alright, once that is in, let's check it again in the layout view. Alright, here you have your name, you have this to the left of this. Alright, that's very well done. I think that's all. It says place in your evidence document screenshots showing the database formula used to calculate the number of cyclists. So to do that, we are going to go to your design view. Here we have it here. Just so it can be visible, you will want to, you want to expand that. Okay, now this is fully visible. Take a screenshot of that, Windows Shift S, and I can take a screenshot of that formula and place it in my evidence document. Okay, it's there. And once that is done, let's check our question. Alright, that's all. Save the report, save and print the report. But remember, all labels and data must be fully visible. Now we begin to rearrange. A quick way to rearrange or to reduce the size is to hold down your shift key and the arrow keys, and you can reduce the size that way. If you want to move it, just use your arrow keys alone and it will move. Okay, I want to move now. Make sure I'm clicking this. I move this in. Hold down the shift key to reduce. Check through to make sure you do not cut anything. Alright, it's all fully visible. Pick on this. You can select both the title, the label, and the detail together. You can readjust them together if you want to. Just be sure you do not cut off any part of the document, of the details. Alright, pick on this and pick on this together. I move it. I want to expand it a little bit. I can play around with space now. I think I have sufficient space. Move this, reduce the size. Okay, that was too much. I want to move this again. Let's bring it in, expand it, bring it in, expand it, bring it in. And lastly, pick on this, bring it in, expand it, bring it in. Alright, so now let's take a look. Group code, last name, first name, will be status, race time, and event rank. All fully visible. We have a number of copies, 32. Yes, now once we are done with this, we can then go to our print preview. Let's take a look at this. Yes, it's all fully visible, no overlaps. I think this is a bit too close. I would like to move that if I were you before I print it, but nevertheless, it's all visible. You know, I just want to be on the safe side. I would like to move that a little bit. Okay, yes. Now that is perfect. Good. Now let's go back to a print preview. I can print it out. If you have your printer directly connected, you could just print out. Or if you don't, once again, like I advise, you can save it to your PDF, convert it to a PDF, and print out. It's going to ask you where to drop that. Let's drop that as print out 2. I'm gonna save that there. Let's check it out what it looks like. My printout 2. Okay, that's it. One page. We have the number of cyclists, we have this, and we have your details, and it's all done. But the question is not yet over. We have another report to create. It says using fields from the results and the CAT code tables this time, produce a tabular report. So now we are going to be using fields from the results and the CAT code in the same order. You're going to pick the required fields first, but in this situation, take a look at this question. After the condition, it says contains a new field called time per kilometer. How do we create a new field? What is this going to do? It says which is calculated at runtime. This field will calculate the race time divided by the race distance of 50 kilometers. Format this field to display time as this. That's a long time. All right. I'm going to come back to all of this to save our time. Let's start out quickly. Let's go back to the access. All right, we want to start another. Let's close our print preview. Let's create another query quickly. Go to our query design. Now let's check the question. It says result and CAT code tables. I'm picking my result. I'm picking my CAT code tables. I want to make this fully visible. All right. Now let's get the required fields. The fields are the race number, first name, last name, the CAT rank, the club name, category, status, and the new field time per kilometer. Before we have time per kilometer and then the race time. In that order. Okay, with all fully displayed, do not group the data. Let's pick them now. Race number, first name, last name. Can I zoom in again? My Windows and my plus key. Race number, so we have a race number. Wait, do we have a race number here? I missed that. Okay, there's the race number, first name, last name. Okay, let's switch over. Then we have the CAT rank, club name, category. Permit me. We have the CAT rank, that's category rank. Then we have the club name. Club name, is it here? Yes, we have a club name here. Sorry, where's the mouse acting up? And we have the category. Here is category here. Okay, sorry, I'm going to switch over category, and then we have status, time per kilometer, and the race time. All right, we're going to drop every available one for now. We have our status. I think I've missed that. Status. Time per kilometer is a new field, so let's drop the last one, which is the race time. So we have our race time here. Sorry, that's the race time, and it's dropped. Now, how do we create the new field? I'm still going to stay on this Zoom interface for now. I'm going to right click on this, and let's pick on build. Okay, it's going to open up this dialog box. And remember, the question says it's going to be the, and we check so you can confirm, it's going to be the race time divided by the race distance of 50 kilometer. So the race time is a field. You want to open the tables. Let's open the table. It's going to be in the results table, race time, and double click on that for you to bring it up here. Then the division sign is the slash sign, slash then 50 kilometers. Okay, once we are done, then you can click on OK, and you take note that that has been created. Let me turn off the zoom, the Windows and the minus key, the dash. Let's run it, and you can see the way it's displayed. Now remember, the question says it should be displayed as the long time format. Oh, sorry. So click within, make sure your cursor is in that part. You go to your property sheet, and you want to convert it to the long time. The format should be long time. Taking a look at this here, I don't have a long time in my format. So what I can do, if you don't do it, is just to type it. Long time. All right, once I type my long time, let's run it again and take a look. Yes, and you have it there. So if there's any of the formats you don't have, just type it in and Access will be able to pick up that particular field. Now, what are the criteria before we leave? The condition says the club name includes the text power. It includes the text, meaning it could be from the beginning, it could be in between, or it could be at the end, but it should include the text. So to write that, you have to use the wildcard, the asterisk, that's asterisk before and after, and we also want to use the like button because it's just something that includes this. So let's go to it's the club name, sorry. Let's go to our design view. We can close this now. Now we're looking for the club name under the criteria option. Permit me to zoom in so you can see. So in the criteria option, you're going to be typing like, open the quote, asterisk, power, asterisk again, and then the quotes, which means it could be anything behind with the power so long as the text power is included in that statement. And the last one says status does not include DNF or DNS. Does not include DNF or DNS. That means it is not DNF, it's not DNS. So, well, the good way to go about that is status. If I wanted it to be DNS or DNF, just take a look. I'm just going to write DNF or DNS. Coming to that, let's run this, turn it off. Now, it's giving me DNF and DNS, but it says it should not include this. So I'm going to go back the other hand. So what do I want to do? I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to say not DNF or DNS. Let's close this and see what that will give us. All right, let's scroll through. Do we have DNF? Do we have DNS? No. So we have been able to exclude DNS or DNF. So what I did first was to give DNS or DNF before we now excluded it. That means we don't want it, and we have returned with 45 records. So it's not DNF, it's not DNS, and that should run. I also noticed, I have seen somewhere where we could also write this using the arithmetic operators rated at not equals to and not equals to this, because you don't want it to be equals to this. But this is another quick way to write that, and that runs. So let's run that and let's move on. Okay, and the next thing, after having done that, can we now, okay, I've not converted the name time per kilometer. All right, let's go back. You can see here it's still showing experience 1. So we want to go back. Let me zoom in and show you what to do. Okay, here where you have this name, you want to leave the colon, please. Do not take away the colon. Just take away the word and replace it with the label you want, time per kilometer. And let's run it. Can we see it? Exactly. So that's what is displayed there. Okay, now let's move on. Now we are going to create, all right, like I said in the last table, we said sort into the data. The other sort was just a single one. Now here we have 2 levels. We have sort data into ascending order of club name and ascending order of cat rank. Take note of this arrangement. When I'm going to be exporting the table, I'm going to ensure that this time per kilometer comes before race time. Now let's, because here it is coming after it. Let's go ahead and do that. I want to create my report wizard. Okay, sorry, I'm to save this first. Thank you. Access request that I save it as query 2. Okay, now I'm picking from query 2. I'm going to pick everything. I'm going to come down here, return time per kilometer, return the race time, pick this first. Then I'm going to pick the race time in that order so that it follows the arrangement which it specifies. Click on next. Okay, I don't want it grouped. This is a grouped data. Here I don't want it grouped. Click on next. Click on next. Once again, you do not, I advise you don't sort at this level. I'm going to show you. We're going to use the group and sort to give us 2-level order sorting. Click on next. The orientation of the paper, let's check that from here. It says has a page orientation of landscape. So I'm going to select landscape here, click on next, and let's finish that report. All right, so we have our report here. Let's take a look at the print preview. How many pages? Okay, it's just 2 pages. That's good. Let's close our print preview. and let's start first with the sort. It says sort the data into ascending order of club name and ascending order of cat rank. I want to go to my group and sort. Okay, here it is. I want to add a sort club name, ascending order of club name. Remember, I told you that the first one is always the ascending, the lower one is the descending. Now I'm adding another level sort, which is the cat rank. Let me confirm that. Club name and the cat rank. So the second sort, add another sort, cat rank, still ascending order. So the default one is already the one at top, ascending order. And that is done. You can turn off this now. Having done that, then we come to the orientation has been done. Fits on a single page wide. Take note, the last question says fits on a single page. But in this situation, it says single page wide. So when it's not a single page, that means it can overlap to a second or a third page as the case may be. But the width should not go beyond one page width. That is what we mean by single page wide. So if you have it in more than one page, do not be disturbed. This has taken care of that. Then the next one now says includes only the title Power Club results displayed in larger font size, fully visible at the top of the page. So I want to copy that. When you are typing that, you should ensure that you type it accurately. Okay, and I want to paste that there. And I'll just show you could also do this in a design view. Here I am on my layout view. And the last thing says your name, center number, candidate number in the footer of the report. Now it is specified of the report, so it appears on all in the same position on every page. So we go back to our design view, pick your label, come to the page footer. Now there's nothing in the report footer, it's a page footer. First I want to take away this, click on this. Now click on your label again and place it there, your name, comma, the center number, and then your candidate number, fully visible. Let's check it out in the layout view. Okay, yes, there it is. Any other thing? I think that's all. Place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the database search criteria used to select the records where status does not include DNF or DNS. Okay, so I have to go back to my query to do that. Let me save this. I'm coming back to the reports. Let me quickly go to the query. That's query 2. Go to our design view. I want to do a screenshot of this. Windows Shift and S. And I can do a screenshot of this. And let's place that in our evidence document. Alright, that's it there. Now let's go and finish up. Go to our report. Haven't done everything. Now we need to ensure that it's all fully visible. Let's maximize our space here. I want to use my shift and the arrow keys. Give it a little space so they don't overlap. Okay, nothing is cut. Alright, we move to the second part. Click on the label, bring it in, reduce the size, and check to be sure that you do not cut out anything. Okay, this is the longest field. Make sure you're doing this quite fast because you are working against time. So here I want to expand this first before I move it in. Okay, now pick the details, bring that under that label. Okay, I can move this backwards a little. Okay, I think that size is okay. It's even, you can see, it's all right. Now we're sure everything is fully visible. Now we move to the next. Okay, for this category, hold down your shift key, reduce the size, and make sure we don't have. Okay, and for this, you can move it in and make it smaller. Okay, now next we want to move our time per kilometer in, expand it a little. Lastly, we want to move our race time in, expand it. I'm holding the shift and the arrow keys, the right or the left arrow keys as the case may be. to expand this, or without the shift to move it. Okay, now let's take a look at everything. Oh no, this is not fully visible, the very first field. So I want to move this backwards and let's make it visible. Yes. Okay, now that's good. Race number, first name, last name, cat rank, club name, category, status, time per kilometer, and the race time. Okay, they are all fully visible. And then we can, let's get our question. It says save and print your reports. I think that's the end of the question. So once again, we go to our print preview. Let's check it. How many pages? Go to the next page. Yes, so we just have 2 pages. They are all fully visible. Let's print it out. Print it to PDF and print. I'll call this printout 3. Okay, we have printout 3. Saving that. Let's check to see what the printout looks like. Printout 3. Okay, here you have your title, you have your field names, you have your data, all fully visible. We are to the sort is in category, in the club name before the category. You can see that. Okay, so it's properly sorted in ascending order. Yes, we have that. Okay, so I think that is done. Within the club name ascending, and then the cat rank ascending, club name ascending, cat rank ascending, club name. All right, so that's all that needs to be done, and once you're done, you can print out from your printer and submit your document. If you like what you've watched, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. Hit the like button and then hit the notification bell so that when I release another video, you can be notified. I'm going to make the last video on the presentation on this aspect of this paper. I hope you catch up with that video, and do stay safe. Till I see you in that video, have a nice time. Bye.